you. So he's hit a crisis moment. He's hit a wall. And we've all hit that wall in our walk with Christ at some point. And you've grasped the promise of God, whatever it may be. Or you've grasped the story and said, well, cool, you did it for them. Maybe you can do it for me. And we hit that moment. And just as Daniel said, there was a group of people that was expecting Jesus to become the Messiah and overthrow the Roman government. Because they expected the kingdom to be a physical kingdom, and Jesus wasn't ready to set his physical kingdom in place yet. He was laying the spiritual foundation for it. So we know the stories of the zealots. So you're wondering, and John's in prison, he's hearing the stories of zealots. He's like, well, he's my cousin. He loves me. Why didn't he come rescue me? And the enemy is probably throwing all kinds of seeds of doubt and thoughts in his head, like we do. Well, how come so-and-so passed away? How come you didn't heal them? How come you didn't? How come? And the devil goes, ooh, they said how come, or they said why? Let me just feed this with all kinds of craziness. And I agree that John's sitting there going, this isn't how I expected this to be. I expected to present the Messiah, and the Messiah would take over. And I don't think John had an impure thought in his mind, so I don't think he was going, well, maybe I'll be second in command. I don't think he had that. He may have, but I don't think he did. But at some point, he's probably going, cool, I did my part for my 6 months. I set him up, and now I can get back in the winds and go back in the wilderness and do whatever he asked me to do. And because we know for fact from this moment on, there's people story throughout the Bible going, well, we thought you were going to come and overthrow Rome. Because they were expecting a physical kingdom to start happening. They wanted to make him king now and then and there. And Jesus is like, not so fast. This is not what I've came for this point in time. So John's going through an emotional state here, and he's like, are you really the Messiah? Well, let me ask you this question and deeper. Do you think it was a crisis of faith, or you just think it was a questioning moment?
Yeah. Because he had a...
Just to wish.
Which one? Both? I agree with both sometimes, but...
The second one. Because you're right. He expected what everyone thought the Bible said.
Right.
And when Jesus didn't do that,
Right.
then it was like, give me more information here.
Yeah.
And Jesus did.
See, I think he... Go ahead.
No, he did. I was going to say I don't think we should answer that question until we get like about 8 more verses.
Deeper?
As to whether it was a crisis.
Yeah. It's deeper. Yeah, we get... Yeah. Well, sometimes I do that on purpose. So. I ask the question before we get there. I do that a lot, actually, because I want to see what happens. But think about how many people that sit in churches around the world that... And we'll just assume they were truly converted. We got to start there. I mean, there's no doubt that John the Baptist was truly a follower of the Messiah. In his era. He followed him a little different than we do. But there was no doubt. There's people sitting in churches around the world that have those crisis moments, that have those questioning moments. What does the rest of the body of Christ do for them? How do we interact with them? Well, let's find out. Because it's like you said, next about 7-8 verses, we're going to find